I am. There's the recall Rendon. I've wanted to go after the state speaker for a long time, but you know, I've got a dual mission here. I'm trying to get the feedback from people. They think that single payer is going to be the way to solve all of our healthcare woes, and I'm going to see why they think that, because honestly, I think it would be the worst thing that could happen to our healthcare system. So we're going to see what happens. Boom. You're the guy you said you wanted to fuck Trump, but why? No, I'm allowed to be here. It's a First Amendment right.
How come you don't talk about how Trump is still sending fucking jobs overseas?
How is he stealing jobs?
Stealing jobs, sending jobs overseas.
Okay, how is he sending them? Where is he sending them to?
Fucking read some shit.
Okay, you're the one making the chart, so prove it.
But you're a Trump supporter, so you should know.
Okay, so you're gonna let me answer it? I asked her, she wouldn't answer it.
This way, this is not about some fucking everybody supports Democratic Party over here.
You guys don't support the Democrats. Glad to hear it. I think they're corrupt. They robbed Bernie.
They're both full of shit, right?
Okay, so you think that Republicans are just as bad?
Yeah.
Why?
That's the Trump crap.
Okay, but why?
Yeah, you know how to read.
You told me, you said, I tried to ask it, you didn't answer me, so I will answer the question for you. He hasn't been sending jobs overseas. Carrier, the jobs came back. You've got other firms. There was an attempt. There's building up the military. There's a firm in New Hampshire that got the contract, as opposed to Austria. That's what's happening. Absolutely. I want to understand why people are so gung-ho for single payer, too. This is a single payer rally, right? You guys are pissed because Senate Bill 562 got pulled, right? Why do you want single payer?
Sure, I'll tell you why.
Why?
I think we're spending too much money in taxes right now.
I agree with you on that. Hell yeah.
We spend a third of every dollar goes to our taxes.
Right.
We spend in California, we spend $225 billion a year on taxes.
And our taxes went up because of the gas tax, which this guy hiked.
Sure. And we get butt fucked on health insurance.
Okay, health insurance is too expensive, isn't it?
Health insurance is way too expensive. I don't know why we're paying these people, because we're not getting the health care that we need.
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do is pass single payer. It'll be cheaper. We're going to save $37 billion.
Okay.
And then we're going to get health care.
So single payer would be cheaper. Is it based on a study that you took or that you read, excuse me?
Yeah. No,
which one?
The Robert Collins study out of the UMass Amherst. So I can link it. It's on Healthy California.
Amherst. Okay, Healthy California. Tell me about this group. I'm learning about it right now. Healthy California. What is that?
Sure. Healthy California is a nonprofit, and basically they partner with the Nurses Association.
Okay.
So which is just a labor union made up of nurses.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who put forward this bill.
Nurses want single payer.
Yep. Nurses want single payer.
Okay.
Doctors want single payer. And regular people who know about single payer want single payer. Let me tell you, the people who don't want single payer, health insurance companies, people paid by health insurance companies, and assholes.
Okay, so if somebody is opposed to it and they're not an insurance, why do you call them assholes? I don't understand.
Because you'd have to be an asshole.
Why?
Because why would you not want to save money?
I don't call people names if I disagree with them.
You're a respectable guy.
In general, standing rule is trying to antagonize and
antagonizing. This man is answering questions, and I'm not losing my temper. I didn't name names.
By the way.
So, what do you say about people from Canada who reject single payer? Notice that. Okay, so we've got Southgate Police is here. Very good. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that's like the third person who's tried to... How am I antagonizing? I'm allowed to ask questions, aren't I? Is that a problem? Why is it an issue? I think if everybody's willing to come out on a midday wanting to agitate for single payer, they'd at least ought to be able to defend themselves. Why is that?
I would assume you all signed it already.
Okay. So I've heard one study that affirms single payer healthcare is the way to go. Does anybody have any other studies that would confirm or affirm single payer? Because what I have seen in Canada, I've talked to Canadians, they hate single payer. They do not like it. What do you say to that?
So you're absolutely wrong. I know lots of Canadians and they all love it.
Okay, the Canadians, they do like single payer. And this is it. They're all trying to, what is this now? They're like trying to shut down people's First Amendment rights. I don't know why. You're very articulate. I appreciate it.
Yes. I have a number of relatives in Germany, lots of friends who live in Canada, friends who live in Japan.
Okay.
All countries with single payer. They all love it. They all get much better care than we get here, and it's much cheaper.
We all do our thing.
It's called the First Amendment. He's allowed to speak. Wow, this is the second time. What is this, like a police state or something? So you have family members in Germany who like it. Is it a single-payer system?
It's not a single-payer system.
Ah, okay.
It does not work as well as the system in Canada or Japan or Taiwan.
You think Canada is better?
Oh, it's absolutely better.
Okay, so have you seen the documentary that John Stossel did? He actually went into Canadian hospitals. He spoke with Canadian doctors.
Have you seen the healthcare movie?
So,
have you seen the healthcare
which
movie?
One? Because there's a lot.
It's called the healthcare movie.
The healthcare movie. Okay, I'll have to take a look at it.
That because John Stossel is a very biased reporter.
That's true. I mean, he's clear about his libertarian views.
Yeah. The healthcare movie is just very straight ahead. It interviews lots of Canadians. It talks about. It lays out how the system works and why it's preferable to our profit-oriented system here. So,
okay. Healthcare. Well, here's the one thing I would ask you. I have people who have commented.
The healthcare movie.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Got to stay healthy. Appreciate it. Okay, thanks a lot. So, healthcare is a human right. I had a question for one of the Nurses Association members. The plan that Rendon was supposed to put forward, how was it going to pay for the single-payer program?
He didn't put it forward to begin with.
Why did he pull it?
You ask him. He's up there. Does he talk to you?
He doesn't want to talk to anybody for some reason. I guess he doesn't think he has to represent anybody. Why do you think he did it? Oh, wow. Everybody's like not wanting to talk. I don't know why. They come out here and they want to stump for a single payer, but I hear a lot of very strange examples that don't seem to justify it. Go ahead. You're still a Sanders supporter. Look, he totally got robbed. I couldn't agree more. It was total corruption. The Democrats want to go after Russia when they should be going after Donna Brazil, don't you think?
Okay, so I'm wondering why are you here to protest as a Trump person, or are you just concerned about SB 562?
Well, first of all, you're not going to, first of all, I don't think single payer is the way to go, and I want to try to understand. Maybe I'm wrong, but more importantly, I want other people to hear a point of view. So that's the first thing. Yes, I am a Trump supporter. I don't hide that. I was not a Trump supporter initially because he was for single payer, and that was wrong. I do not support single payer. I think we need to go the other way. I absolutely support the president. I absolutely support him. He's not perfect, but he's better than crooked Hillary, and I would not have supported Bernie Sanders.
I fucking hated Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary is a total liar and a fraud. She stood by a serial rapist, just every perversion you can think of under the sun. But I do agree, I want to recall Rendon. I will help. I will sign that petition, whatever it takes to get rid of this guy. I just would like somebody who I think would withdraw the state from my life. So tell me, I see you're still Sanders. I respect that. Why do you support single payer?
Well, I have a lifelong pre-existing condition.
Those are serious.
Chronic PTSD.
Are you a veteran? I'm just asking. That's fine.
I've been shot in the back. I've been home invasion, robbery.
You're a veteran of crime in this state, sadly. Okay.
Okay, so if things go the way they want to, it's going to be really difficult for me to get insurance because I'm on disability right now.
Okay.
And they're paying full in my school district. But if this goes down, we're going to lose our other benefits if I can come back.
You're a teacher?
Yes.
Okay, great. I don't want to push it. I mean, it's a very sensitive situation right now. Now, I've studied single payer. I've looked at it from Canadian doctors' perspective. Before and after it was enacted, they hate it. They feel that it limits their ability to care for patients. It leads to rationing. What's your take on that?
In Canada?
Yes.
But they still have they take care of their people.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know how much because I haven't researched that they're paying for health care there. I should know that, but I'm not informed about that particular issue.
Okay. I would strongly encourage you to you've got to look into this. The cost of everything is much higher to pay for. It's a government subsidized organization. Steve Crowder actually went undercover pretending to be a patient in Quebec specifically because he speaks French. And the horror stories that he heard and the setbacks he faced were unbelievable. The answer is not to put more government into the system. The answer is to get the government out. I don't think insurance companies should be getting bailouts either. It should be a free market. There should be clear outlines of what the costs are. I think it should be like car insurance. No, you're not a car, but it should be you pay for catastrophic or limited benefits, just like for a car. I can pay for a certain amount. But daily cancer would be covered, for example, by I call it a catastrophic. I might be using the wrong term, but mental illness.
Because nobody's talking about it, and it's very important to me.
Yeah, I know. Mental illness is not getting the attention it deserves. That's a real problem to me.
Didn't mention it. Any rally I've gone to never mentions it.
I think it's a subject that deserves a lot more attention than it's getting. I think that allowing individuals to buy a plan that's tailored to their needs, such as that you've mentioned, would help. Pre-existing conditions. Rand Paul wanted to create risk pools. They don't have to be, stratospheric in terms of cost. So this is part of why I'm here. I want to understand why people are still supporting single payer after all that I've seen and heard. I met a guy from Birmingham, England, and he said, "Oh, it's terrible. It's a two-tier system. It's very inequitable. Poor people get." Go ahead. Yeah.
Lived in London for 6 months. Lived in Paris for 2 years.
Okay.
Hit on the head. Ambulance came. Down on the ground. Took me to the hospital. Stayed 2 nights. At the end, they're like, "Thank you very much."
Oh, you didn't have to pay anything.
Not a damn dollar.
Really? You weren't paying any taxes or anything into the system? You were a guest? So you were a visitor, essentially. Wow. Okay, I told you I'm here to also learn. How do you think they do that? I'm curious. This is the story.
Taxes.
So everybody else was paying for it, essentially.
Here's the thing. They have higher taxes because they actually take care of old people. Old people are revered there. They take care of homeless people. They bring tents every night. Some people don't want to come to a shelter, so they set up tents for them. There's tents everywhere. Like,
on the street in London?
Like on the street.
That doesn't sound like a good thing to me, but okay. We have tents all over LA City. These are poor people. These are impoverished. Mentally ill. Yes, a lot of our homeless is because of mentally ill. That needs to be taken care of.
95%.
Yeah, that's it. These aren't people who...
These people will go back to the streets. They get 3 days of help, which just means you don't get help. You sit in there and get non-suicidal.
Yeah.
So I just have to say that I am quite honored to have somebody there with this hat who wants to know more.
I am happy to do it. I do want to recall Rendon, absolutely, but for a lot of other reasons, that's for sure. I'm going to be honest, though. It's like, to me, it is really disturbing that single payer, I think, is the worst thing that could happen. These problems are serious. I don't diminish them. No, absolutely not. Thank you for telling me how did it. I'm willing to listen. Like, so you go to Great Britain and you're able to get care for free. Somebody does pay for it. The taxes are enormous. Not only that, but for the citizens in Great Britain, the citizens, they pay for. I knew a guy. He was a Virgin Atlantic airline pilot, so they're very ritzy. He had his own private insurance too. He's paying for NHS and for private care in order to get good care. Why is he getting double dipped? That makes no sense. Yes, in England, because he's a British citizen. So to me, it's like double dipping people and making them pay more just doesn't make sense. I think we need to go to a more free market, free exchange system. We had that 100 years ago. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the things that have happened to you. That touches this guy. Rendon's part of the reason you've got all these criminals on our streets too. I mean, with AB 109, and then, well, I voted for Prop 47, so that's on me. But this guy, it's a constellation of crap with him, and. I just say these healthcare problems are serious, but single payer, I don't think is the answer. And I'm making my case, and you're telling me about what happens in these other countries. The French system, I do like some aspects of it. They bring the emergency room to you rather than you going to the emergency room. That's good. They also have a really good. It's very hard to file a lawsuit in France. You really have to have a case. Tort reform is big. Right now in this country, doctors get sued all the time. Hospitals get sued. That's what brings up the cost a lot. So
sometimes they need to be sued.
I agree. There should be accountability.
My 2-year therapist.
Oh my God.
What's happening to him?
You have a right to sue him for that because that's a crime. Of course.
He's broke, so I'm suing Kaiser.
Okay.
He put me with him.
Now remember, Kaiser is one of the reasons why the costs are lower is because they have mediation. That's one of the stipulations of it.
Because they have shitty care.
I disagree. I think one of the reasons they have better care, I'm not diminishing what happened to you, but one of the reasons why the costs are lower, essentially, is because of that. Thanks for the water. You're the first person. I've been to a protest. We may not agree, but you gave me water. I really appreciate that.
I have a statement. Don't ever quote Stossel or anything.
Why? You don't like John Stossel. Why?
I heard him once talk about Singaporean system, and he's claiming that the free market is causing lower prices.
Okay.
And it's government regulation controlling the prices. So,
I'm sorry, you're saying that the free market isn't as free as he claims it is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, free market doesn't mean there's no government.
Right, we need to go inside, but really appreciate you being here.
Oh, you guys are going to go into the office? Are you guys going to take over?
No.
I wanted to go in, but then they told me to take my I couldn't have my camera out. Are you from New Zealand or Australia?
From Australia. Thanks for being here anyway.
I appreciate it. Okay, so, but why do you support it?
Oh, right there. Yeah. Good to meet you. Make sure you sign in, please.
Okay. You're a doctor. How about that?
I am.
Mr. Konigman.
Honeyman.
What kind of medicine do you practice?
ER.
Oh wow, that's a tough one.
Yeah, well,
I was an intern of sorts. I didn't actually cut bodies or anything, but I helped with the paperwork.
Yeah.
A lot of people eloped. I was at the UC Irvine Medical Center.
Yeah.
So you support single payer? Why?
Because it gets
As a
rid
medical
of
professional.
Yeah, it gets rid of the middleman in healthcare. So we have private insurance companies that are acting as death panels. They're telling people they're rationing our care. So that means that people end up in emergency because they can't afford to see a doctor. They go bankrupt for medical reasons. And every other civilized country in the world has gone to single payer-like systems, and then their people don't fall through the cracks.
You're saying there's no middleman, but the government serves as a middleman, doesn't it?
No, actually, when the government does, it's very efficient, and
it is?
they have very good outcomes. So when private insurance companies do, they skim off the top, and then money doesn't get into the healthcare.
Okay.
It's going to private individuals.
I have to.
It's immoral to take money out of something that's a human need. So they should not be allowed to make a profit off of healthcare, and that's what's happening now. The government actually operates very efficiently, about a 2% administrative cost compared to private.
For the government, you mean?
Yes, 2% administrative cost compared to private insurance, which operates at 30% administration cost. So if you wanted to run government like a business, then you should follow the model of Medicare, because it runs at a 2% overhead.
It's not efficient. There's massive waste and fraud.
Pardon me?
There's massive waste and fraud in Medicare. Yeah, but it's unbelievable.
Who are you gonna trust more, we the people, or they the corporate boardroom?
I don't trust they the government or they the corporation. I think it should be a free market where everybody has to compete. And the idea that there's no middleman, are you kidding me? The government is the most oppressive middleman.
When people can have free choice,
absolutely,
nurses and hospitals.
I agree.
And that's the case when you have a single payer system.
No, it's not.
Study up on it.
I have studied it. You have patients who don't get the care they need. I have read the horror stories of women who want to give birth to children. They have to do it in the hallways. There aren't enough doctors. You have hospitals that close. They have a black market for healthcare clinics in Canada. They're illegal, but they allow them to operate because there are never enough beds in Canada for the patients. There is an overwhelm. Now, if I'm wrong, if there's a Canadian here who can correct me on the system in Canada, I am listening. I have yet to hear something that is fundamentally affirming to allow a single-payer system. It could be the worst thing that could happen. So this guy, I guess, is like my bodyguard of sorts. That's okay.
No, I'm your buddy.
Okay, that's fine. Buddy or bodyguard, either way.
I'm not guarding you.
Okay, I appreciate that. Good.
But Arthur, there's always going to be shortages.
Don't waste your
Of course there are. Of course there are shortages.
So you can always say there's always going to be a queue.
But the answer is, shortages are true. Shortages are true, but with a free market, it ensures that the people who really need it are getting it.
You just said you were... I thought you don't trust corporations.
You're right. I don't trust them on their own.
But you trust the corporations in a free market?
No, I didn't say that. You just did.
That's true. I said it. I was asking you a question.
So you're not. There's a distinction. Corporations, they are pro-business. They want to increase their bottom line. Of course they do. You know what is the best engine to ensure that corporations do not abuse their customers? The free market. Absolutely. So we have two. Now, he can explain it. You want to know why? Because if I don't like what one corporation does, I can go to another one.
No, I agree.
It's called competition. Absolutely. I think we should allow doctors to open up their own clinics. You know how hard it is for one doctor? I think it's against the law for one doctor to have a co-op. You can have one have a private firm, but if two or three want to set up a co-op, they can't do that. Why? That's ridiculous. If a doctor wants to serve in Nevada or Minnesota, he has to take another license exam. Why? It's the same human body, isn't it? Why do they do that? It's ridiculous.
So you're for having a federal system when it comes to doctors being...
A federal system? I would say...
Something bigger than a state.
I don't think... That's a good question. That we'd have to really look at that. If we had a federal test, I mean, we see what happens with like Common Core and other educational programs or licensure programs. They're not effective. We do need to find a way that makes it really clear to ensure that the doctors who walk out of medical... Please do. I'm recording you too. That's fine.
I know you are.
So we need to ensure that doctors are... Hey, there's the guy who ran against Lou Correa. He lost. Anyway, so... No, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Oh, there we go.
But as far as a state or a national licensure exam, we could talk about that. The same thing. And you know, on the other hand too, like, let me give you an example. That's a good question. But to me, in contrast, for example, if I want to practice law in Minnesota, I have to take a bar exam in Minnesota because Minnesota law is different from Idaho law, from Texas law. But for me, the licensure issue, it shouldn't have to be done over and over again for each state because the human body is the human body. My issue is, let's make it easier for doctors to practice medicine.
Some system where it's transferable.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I don't see why it shouldn't be an issue for other professions. We need people who are good doctors, not just good test takers. That's how I see it. So when it comes to the single payer thing, you're all for it. Why? Do you support single payer? But why?
Well, I think I do, yeah.
But why? That's what I'm trying to find out. When I ask people to tell me, you know,
well,
they say about...
it is more efficient, that's why.
Okay.
There's lots of studies that have been done.
Give me one.
Well, actually, you know what you should do? You should get the stuff that the CNA has put out.
They have some papers? I'll take a look at that. Absolutely.
Go on our website, nationalnursesunited.org.
Yeah, they have a lot of
okay.
stuff.
But you guys are free marketeers, right? If you guys support single payer, then you're not... Now he doesn't want to talk to me for some reason.
You know, so there is stuff available. I cannot quote it.
That's fine.
And I'm actually here to record people.
That's fine.
But I wanted to get your take.
Absolutely. I do want to recall Rendon, but for many different reasons. Anybody who wants to recall Rendon is a friend of mine. This guy is the most corrupt, the most arrogant, the most distant, and out of touch.
So you like some
fraud,
commies, don't you?
What is it?
I said you like some commies, don't you?
What is it?
Commies, C-O-M-M-I-E.
No, communists are hurting us. Communists are subversive. You know what? As long as we share that goal of getting rid of the guy, I'm on board for that. We're going to definitely differ about who should replace him. That's for sure. I'd like to see like Melissa Melendez. That's fine. Show me where the paperwork is because I want to see it.
Well, I got it from somebody who's doing press.
I've just noticed this many times when it comes to single payer. That's where. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look for it when I can.
Yeah, you know what you're gonna have to do.
Okay, I'm safe standing.
Because you're recording anyway.
Sure. Okay, so you're a press agent and you're pro-single payer. Doesn't that seem like a biased report's coming our way? That seems kind of biased, doesn't it?
Well,
who's your which press company or which organization? Hey, it's called the First Amendment. That's like everybody keeps trying to silence you. Isn't that strange?
No, they're telling me to watch out for you.
Oh, I know. I'm so dangerous. Asking questions is a very dangerous thing to do. That's why I have my buddy here, right, to protect me.
Well, look, I've seen you in action.
Of course you have.
You know, you're actually quite.
There's a lot of people.
Now. You know, and you're behaving well.
I think that, but I would have to tell you, I think that single payer, forcing that on every person in the state of California would be the most uncivil thing that could happen. And I am trying to understand as best as I can why people are so militantly in support of this.
Then Arthur, get
in spite. I've got to take a look at that. Absolutely. But this guy's a pro-free marketeer right here, so I don't know why he supports single payer.
For instance, you were already you assumed I support single payer.
Because you were here taking pictures and you were challenging me on issues? Oh, so I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize.
No, you made an assumption. I didn't say you.
Am I allowed to do that? I'm not allowed to do that?
Of course you're allowed to do anything you want to do, especially when it comes to
But I can't break the law. I'm not going to do that.
Break the law.
I don't want to do that.
No, but I'm talking about assumptions.
Hey, folks, be careful. Try not to be in the
street.
street if you can.
Oh, that's a good point. Everybody's got to get out of the street. Yeah, see, he's being my buddy right here. He's protecting me.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the street.
Everybody in general.
You've got 4 other people in the street. You might want to round them up there, buddy. Okay.
But I've seen your blog. You should actually get a better camera.
Well, anyway, whether it's live or not,
I'm tired.
But you still didn't tell me, why do you support single payer? Or if you don't, why not? You still didn't tell me.
Well, I think I do.
Oh, you think you do? You're trying to get some information why? You should? Or what?
Oh, I always think I want. You know, I always want new information. I'm never.
That's what I'm trying to do too. I want to see what is
the next migraine.
What just drives, especially young people, why they're so committed to
I'm
this.
not a young person.
So, well, you know, I'm trying to. Well, I didn't say that you were.
No, I know you didn't.
Okay.
Okay, Arthur. Nice talking to you.
All right. Let's see.
Who's next? Who wants the migraine?
The migraine. Listening to you?
Next up.
Okay. Don't listen to him if he gives you a migraine. Wow. 3 million Californians still need health care. Okay, I thought that Obamacare was supposed to take care of that. It didn't. Wow, this guy has a... Wait a minute, you said do not engage, but then you asked who wants to talk to him next. So make up your mind. Which is it?
It's called sarcasm.
I want you to notice that this guy, for all of the pretenses of the First Amendment and people assembling and speaking their minds, this guy is routinely telling people not to talk. I don't understand why that is. So, okay. All right. Are you like one of those Antifa people or what? What's with the bandana? If you think that 3 million need health care, why hide about it? I just don't. Okay, so this is interesting. Now we're seeing Antifa infiltrating into this. That's very strange. Nice hat, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh my! I'm trying to get some answers here. Hey, I know that guy. What's up, Harbor City? So you're a single payer guy. Why?
Do not engage.
Do you see? Look at this. They don't care about the First Amendment for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm happy to answer your questions.
Great. Okay.
Hey.
I like you already.
Hey.
You're willing to talk and you're smiling.
I'm willing to talk.
I know, this is terrible.
You dropped your card.
I know I did. Let me just put that there. I've got so many wonderful gifts in my hand. The guy gave me water. I really appreciate that.
Good.
So I do want to recall Rendon, but because I'm opposed to sanctuary state, I'm opposed to single payer. But tell me why you support it.
I'd like to ask why you're opposed to single payer.
Why am I what?
Why you're opposed to single payer.
Oh, where do I start? First of all, it's actually grossly inefficient. It's incompetent. It leads to corruption. You can read horror stories again and again in the UK Guardian and in the Telegram.
So I'm actually.
And you think the answer is more government?
So I'm actually a small business owner.
Awesome.
And I just like to, so I have a chronic health condition.
Sorry to hear that.
Okay. Well,
you know what? It's called the First Amendment. She has a... What is it with these people?
Okay. I've been told not to engage. I will say, however, that single payer is actually the most fiscally responsible.
It is?
Yeah, and fiscally conservative healthcare system that you can...
Why? I want to finish with her, then I'll come to you.
It will actually save the state of California $37 billion in the
This has been on an Amherst study, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start looking at that. People have mentioned it.
Great study.
I'll take a look at it, but it's only one study. Do you have other ones?
Yes, we actually have the Lewin Group study from about 4 years ago.
Good, okay.
There was another study.
She gives me stats. I appreciate it.
By UMass Amherst that was also done focusing on California and on New York. That was a couple years ago. There's a wonderful movie called Fix It Healthcare.
Okay.
That actually focuses on the business side of it and how businesses are unable to open in the states specifically because
how about
they
California?
Can't afford to cover because they can't afford to.
You want to know why though? That's because of Obamacare, which forced that if you have 50 plus employees, you have to get them insurance, and the insurance is outrageously expensive.
You have a private health insurance in general because you have a middleman. Why would you pay a middleman?
And the government's a bigger middleman. Are you kidding me? It's even worse.
I have to go.
Bye bye. Thank you.
I have a question.
No, I will not. I'm allowed to record.
So it's not in my face. I can look you in the eyes.
I'm looking at you right now.
Okay, fine. So now it's better.
Yeah, I can still record you.
Do you believe in we the people, or do you believe in we the corporation?
I believe in we the people. But what does that mean to you?
That means that.
Interesting smell.
To make that kind of face at me. And we're trying to.
My God, a face?
Why are you doing that?
Are you going to talk or not? Really? Are you upset about a face?
Yeah.
We the people speaks of individual citizens. It doesn't speak of a collective. It doesn't speak of a
why we're the United States.
Individual states. Individual states.
Save your headache.
Next.
We are the United States. Thank you very much.
Okay, but we're talking about we the people, citizens.
No, I believe in
wow, that's interesting. Putting Rendon next to McConnell. I think the world's coming to an end here. Okay, so
we agree there.
Okay, we the people. Do you notice how people on the left will try to spin that to justify a collectivist approach to governance, and that's not what the Constitution provides.
Communism.
It is communistic.
Collectivism is communism.
We've had people fleeing communist countries with single payer. How about Venezuela? How are those hospitals?
First
they don't even have them. They all run away.
Our guns in California, we want them back.
Yes.
Yes, down with the bullet button.
Yes. I know that guy. That guy's from Gardena or Harbor City or something.
I have one more question.
Oh, I thought you didn't want to talk to me.
There we go. He wants to talk to you again.
Okay, fine. What's up?
There you go.
How many people did you bring here today?
Doesn't matter how many I brought. What matters is I want to see. I don't have to.
I'm not telling you that.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, that's good.
Why does it matter? I brought myself, and I'm fed up with people trying to push this without any understanding of what they're pushing for. It's outrageous. Enough's enough. I appreciate you recording me, so I'm going to not prejudge. Are you for or against single payer?
How you doing, brother? Good, man.
Okay, so I'll say this much. You should care because single payer is the singular worst thing that could happen to our healthcare system. Obamacare has already pushed us to the brink of bankruptcy. There was one story. There was a lady in Sacramento. Her premiums doubled. And then she gets all these other bills when she thought everything was going to be covered. I mean, it's outrageous.
He's making fun of you behind your back.
Well, that's because he supports free market, but then he says he's collectivist.
He wants to do.
But he's my buddy. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I said like this.
Okay, why do you support single payer?
It's a much more efficient system than we have now.
Okay, but it's not efficient when you look at in Great Britain where you have people who are rationed.
For years, they have.
And it's terrible.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, I've talked to Canadians. They hate it. Canadians have to come to this country to get better health care.
Canadian has the biggest black market for medical.
Exactly. Everything's underground.
So is Trump saying you're for the Australian method of healthcare, like Trump is?
Okay, so tell me about that. I'm not as familiar with it. I'm not.
Trump said it's a much better system than what we.
You know what? Trump has said some things I don't agree with either. That's not a final determinant.
Okay.
So that's all.
Either you or
just
Trump
like you guys hate Hillary Clinton because she's a liar and a thug. Oh, and by the way, if you're a Bernie supporter, what do you think of the fact that he's under investigation now for bank fraud? Wow. He's not the sage here.
That's sage for you.
Thank you. That's nice. So they usually do that. I guess it's like to try to ward off bad spirits. I didn't know that asking questions was a bad thing to do. Oh, this is mine. Yeah, you want water, and I'll take the sign.
We have water there too.
You're gonna follow with me? Okay.
I'm gonna just stand near you.
Thank you.
Nurses, clergy,
thank you.
activists.
Yes, I guess I am. Not anymore. I mean, that's it.
Wait a minute. Who's this? Oh my God. Folks, you're not going to believe this, but Anthony Rendon decided to show up here today.
Oh, no kidding. I can't believe this. He has to placate his base.
And with him, I believe, if I recognize that guy, that's the insurance industry.
Huzzah!
Oh, brother.
Power of life.
I'm going to have to go around. You want to follow me?
Wow. You know, I guess we should be considered a little bit honored if
Yes, I know. It was very painful for us to okay some of those charges. And in fact, if we hadn't served as the middleman in this
it's death.
we probably would have gotten more medical care.
Oh my God, look at that. We got socialist posters. Lord.
Wait, hold on, my cowl has fallen off. You'll see.
And we've got, I forgot the name for those.
I'm in the insurance industry.
Thanks for being here.
It looks like people in this crowd are starting to die from this terrible situation.
Well, they probably don't have enough insurance with our company.
My wife very angry at me.
I'm sure she is. You know what a troublemaker I am.
Anthony,
Hey, buddy.
Is there a nurse or a doctor anywhere around here? Oh my God, there's some nurses.
She's trying to smoke me out.
Is that what this is?
That's crazy.
I'm playing you away.
No. It's
Isn't that like a fire hazard?
For us.
like
We got two more buddies here.
We are very
Right, it's supposed to make us feel better.
And then there's
This guy is like, I don't know what he is. He's got gloves too.
We're a very special kind of constituent. We're corporate Americans.
I only carry water for the insurance industry.
We gave him $50,000 in donations, and our friends in the
I don't know you guys.
because he's loyal to the ones who wrong.
Let's see. Yete Lan. Oh, it's Vietnamese? Healthcare is a human right. Okay.
Corporations are people.
Vietnam, don't they have single payer?
We don't.
Are you from Vietnam or? Okay, that's fine. I'm just.
How much money has this woman given you in donations?
But I only carry water for the insurance industry.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Wow. I see all these images of death. I don't understand. If they don't want death, they should go to a free market system.
I want to make sure that this bill never goes through.
How should I vote?
I want it to die in committee. I want it to die.
Oh Lord, we got death here on the street corner.
What are we going to do with Starbucks? It's so refreshing.
Hey, I'm sorry, you guys. I think we're giving them a little bit too much airtime, don't you think? Do we want to hear any more of this BS from the insurance industry?
Oh my God.
Stuff doesn't ever come off the way.
I know.
Get off the stage right now. Get out of here.
We're going to have $100 million of ads against what you're trying to do to our industry.
Okay. Wasn't he supposed to melt or something?
We're not going to hear from that guy ever again, will we?
Oh, look at that. It's my best friend Laura. I want to talk to her. I don't know. He needs to GoFundMe? I don't understand. So what is it?
I guess when that guy got stabbed, he was inquiring whether he received.
I know. Yeah, the guy got stabbed 9 times and he couldn't afford the health insurance. Absolutely crazy.
All right. Elizabeth is a registered nurse here in the area, and she's also one of Peter Rendon's constituents. So she has a real big voice and something to tell him here. Elizabeth?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. My name is Castillo. I'm a constituent. I live here in Lakewood. And I'm also a delegate for the California Democratic Party. I want to say to Speaker Rendon to please pass this bill so that we can have guaranteed health care for all Californians. I work in a hospital and I see on a daily basis patients who come in very sick because they cannot afford their medications. They can't go to the doctor.
It's called the First Amendment. I know you don't like it, but deal with it.
Don't get agitated. That's the goal. That's for real medical care.
Black market. My people. Wow, the racism.
Listen, we're here for the rally. Let's focus on.
I am here too. I'm being disturbed. You're helping her. Okay, right.
I'm here for the rally.
So we're asking Rendon to please pass that bill now and not to wait a
Boo.
year.
Could you help me out? Could you open this for me?
Can I have Allison and Sandy come up? Where's Allison and Sandy?
Tell everybody you're showing up.
I told him I was coming, but I said you're on your own.
These guys are the leadership of the California Nurse Association.
The guys helped me out. They gave me water.
Also, working RNs, I'm an oncology nurse. I can't tell you how many stories at the bedside. Chuck's, don't want to cry, but we have cancer patients.
Oh, stop it.
I know, it's terrible. Makes me sick. She's harassing her team. I hate that. I may not agree with you, but I respect your right to be here. You should be able to be here.
Everyone's watching you.
You think it's hot enough out here?
Yeah?
We need to turn up the heat. I'm a proud board member of the California Nurses Association. I am an operating room nurse. I'm from Bakersfield, and we have a very underserved population there. I'm also an ADEM, an assembly delegate. Speaker Rendon. So, what are we doing here?
I'm on the sidewalk, I promise.
Our communities are healthy.
Yeah, you guys are breaking the law. Get off the sidewalk.
Again, in my practice, I look into the eyes on the patient.
They could get hit by a car. It's terrible.
Because they couldn't afford timely medical intervention. They couldn't see their doctors because the premiums were too high, the co-pays were too high, the medications were too high. Remember the EpiPen? Remember the insulin? Well, we're seeing that.
I know,
effect.
that's terrible.
They're coming in very sick.
EpiPen's a total ripoff.
We're not going to take it anymore. You take on one of us, you take on all of us. You take on one of us.
You take on all of us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I'm going to ask you, is healthcare, guaranteeing healthcare to folks a human right?
I don't think so.
Is this a moral issue?
It is a moral issue.
All the arguments that Rendon and other people blocking our bill have put up as well, it's not feasible now for this and that reason. Of course I'm for it, just not now, right?
Oh, brother.
I can imagine this guy in 1902, right? Saying, of course, I'm for ending child labor. In principle.
Okay.
But what about the impact on small business and farmers? Right? There are moral issues that this country has faced generation after generation, and somehow we've been able to progress, even though there were a lot of Rendons in those days saying it just can't be done now. Are you with me? So to frame this moral issue, I'd like to invite a member of the clergy, Rabbi Jim Kaufman up here to speak.
Okay, so they're making it a religious issue as well.
Rabbi Jim Kaufman, representing Caring Across Generations, faith-based Los Angeles Alliance, and we are dedicated to universal family care and universal long-term health care.
Hey, Bao.
Our country and our
want to
state
talk to me. It's too bad.
Suffers from an enemy. The enemy is not physical illness, psychological illness, or poor health. The enemy is indeed a personality flaw in human beings. It's greed. G-R-E-E-D.
and the selfish drive to protect the bank account that stores the fruit of that greed.
Really?
We are all Homo sapiens.
He didn't want to. He's hiding from me.
We're descended from a single source. Either you believe it's our biblical mom and pop, Adam and Eve, or scientifically, 6 million years ago, our scientific mom and pop.
Which one is it?
A male and a female chimpanzee. Believe the Bible or believe in science, both agree on one thing: we are all from a single source. No one is closer to God than the next. No one is evolutionarily more deserving than another.
Now this is crazy.
Our common inheritance is life itself, and implied is the right for each of us to live as long as possible. But the greed of all those who seek to fill their overflowing purses with more money shrinks. It shrinks the lifespan of the poor and increases the lifespan of the rich. This is grossly immoral. It is health injustice.
If they disrupt, they will. Hey, I love your live stream the other day. Was it you or
awesome?
Live stream when you were crying getting arrested. That was awesome.
Oh, that was awesome too. I was standing up for civil rights. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Absolutely. I'm sure Rosa Parks cried too. Thank you.
To be developed through the legislative process.
I don't know why some people are so hostile. You were very respectful, even if we don't agree.
Because that pretty much represents...
This triggers them, right?
Because our values are bound up in our shared concern with all human beings. Hebrew Scripture declares,
he says, "Don't go there."
God placed
exactly. Hi.
Can I interview you?
Sure. Who are you with?
And
that's fine.
It says, in the Hebrew, choose life. Choosing life is the right of every...
I wanted to move anyway.
No one.
All right. How you doing? What's your name?
My name is Arthur Shopper.
Arthur Shopper. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really well.
All right. So tell us why you're here today.
Well, first of all, I'm here. I absolutely hate Speaker Anthony Rendon. I would love to see him recalled. Let me see that Speaker Rendon sign. But I have slightly different reasons for why I want to recall him. But, you know, I try to find common ground, even if it's very little. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I am vigorously opposed to single payer. And ironically enough, I go to this office and I say, I'm glad that you pulled the measure, but it's not good enough. I don't think we should have Obamacare. I don't think we should have government-run medicine of any kind. And I am extremely alarmed by the growing cohort of young people who are convinced that single payer is the answer. It's not. It's inefficient. It's corrupt. It's incompetent. It is a government-run bureaucracy. I don't want to go to the DMV for health care. I want choice. I want competition. I want accountability. And yes, I do not believe that insurance companies should be the final dictator on healthcare either. I absolutely don't. I think there should be more choice. There should be transparency. It should be easier for medical professionals to open up their own practice or a co-op. But we're not seeing that right now. What we're seeing instead is centralization, which leads to less choice and more corruption, fraud, waste. Medicare is one of the most wasteful programs. And someone tells me it's shit. I mean, it's just unthinkable.
So let me ask you something. Are you perfectly okay with the way things are right now?
No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely outrageous. We need to go the other way.
What is the option?
Oh, plenty. First of all, no, you're bringing that up. I don't know why you immediately go to that. What we need is a deep... We don't have enough insurance companies to begin with because what we need is competition. I don't trust any industry in and of itself. I want to see competition. That ensures I want to have lots of insurance companies to choose from. I want to also be able to tailor a plan according to what I really want, kind of like what car insurance is.
But what about the problem that insurance companies are so corrupt that they keep taking and stealing and conniving and cheating and everything from the people?
Give me one example.
Many of them.
Give me one.
Many of them.
And I want to respond to it. It makes it easier to discuss. Give me one example. What about them?
There are people that basically are putting medications that when there are other remedies to really cure them. But you know, the fact that they continue to pump medicine, medicines that are not necessary to them.
I'm going to have to disagree with that. I will acknowledge that you've got bad doctors. There are going to be bad hospitals. Part of the reason why you're seeing such a bloated bureaucracy is because of all the government regulation, which makes it harder for doctors and nurses to do their job. My mother was a nurse, by the way, and they created this ridiculous. I mean, like in Missouri. I'm trying to answer. Well, did you have a question? Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
I actually want to say hi to Carlos.
That's fine. I know you're a single payer guy. I get it. So that's fine. So I don't know. Are you with Telemundo? Are you with LA Times? Are you with the New York Times? What?
I'm just for the people.
What does that even mean? People hide behind that a lot. One person said, "I'm here for we the people," but I'm like, do you think that means a collective or does it mean individuals? It means individuals. It means individual citizenry.
Republicans, Democrats.
Oh, okay, good.
Independents, whoever doesn't have insurance, and that means group of insurance companies.
I agree, and the answer again.
Like Donald Trump.
Why?
Continues to.
Well, you've got quite a bias right there. What's your problem with Donald Trump?
Oh, it's a lot of stuff.
I want you to notice, everybody, that this is not just about single payer, but it's about attacking the president. Okay,
well,
why?
Again, because you have, policies that continue to hurt people.
How? Give me an example.
Again,
he's bringing jobs back. He's expanding the Second Amendment. We're going to get rid of Obamacare. You want to talk about what's screwing people over? Let's talk about Obamacare, which has tripled people's premiums, where we have people who are not able to get a full-time 40-hour-a-week job.
Actually helped me a lot.
Okay, Obamacare helped you. How?
Yes. I had 3 sons that were over 21, and they were able to get insurance up to 26 years old.
Okay.
That was a lot of help for them, especially when they're going through school.
Okay.
I mean, does Trump has anything similar?
Do I need to have the entire boondoggle to accomplish that? No, I don't. More importantly, why don't we give every customer a choice whether they want to keep their kids to 26 or to 30 for that matter, God forbid. And who is paying for that, by the way? Other people do. Insurance is quite a redistributionist scheme, don't you think? You've got some people end up paying more.
Getting a lot of
yes, they are.
Tax breaks and what have you. Just like
I agree. I don't think one corporation. I think every one of us should be getting a tax break. Why don't we just get rid of the IRS? That would save us a lot of money.
Again,
now let's go back to why do you support single payer?
Why? For many different reasons. And one in particular is because I think that people deserve a better chance and an opportunity to be able to be covered. If insurance companies are getting tax breaks left and right.
You keep going to the insurance companies.
Yes.
What's the problem? I'm asking you, why do you support?
Why is it that they're getting all the breaks and not the people?
Lots of people are getting breaks. I got a break because of hardship.
We need to get away from the Ronald Reagan mentality.
Which one? Which mentality?
Where he started taking and removing all the benefits away from the people.
Which mentality?
This is why you have homelessness.
Which mentality? You're not answering my question.
California.
Which mentality?
It's all over California. Why?
You want to know why? Because of Obamacare, because of democratic policies, because of redistributionist schemes. Oh, you're blaming Ronald Reagan. Why? Watch him walk away. He can't answer me. Single payer is a fraud. Single payer robs working people. Single payer is destructive. Single payer is robbery.
See how many people over here? How many people we got here?
Why does that matter? You want to know why? Because a lot of people, they don't do this for a living. They work 8 to 5. And he's, I believe, a retired man. So not everybody can do this because they're working. I'm a journalist. This is my job. I have convinced some, actually.
Off track with the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, reminder to elected officials, you work for us. I don't disagree with that. And I see all these signs. Can someone tell me why it's a human right? So does it mean when a baby is born that they should get a health insurance plan immediately? What does that mean that it's a right?
Not worth it. It's a right to have human health care. Not worth it. You're going to end up
okay, that means that a doctor should provide me care even if I can't afford it?
I think it's a right, yeah, for everybody.
Okay, because we have to just articulate it. That's the thing. So I like what... Okay, healthcare is a human right. Okay, and you're saying it should be a human right because... I don't want to put words in your mouth.
It's immoral to profit off of sickness.
Okay. Do you think that doctors should be paid, don't you?
Yeah, like firefighters and policemen.
Good. Okay, we agree. Would you say that, okay, with the analogy you've presented, would you say that police profit off of crime?
No.
Okay, but you're saying that doctors profit off of sickness?
Yes. Providers do. Yes, they do.
Okay,
and insurance companies, the middlemen in between the provider
and police profit off of crime.
The middlemen in between the provider.
Yeah, there's too much of that. I agree.
Okay, that person exists to make profit.
What's wrong with making money?
Well, it's the parasite in between the provider and the patient.
You know what? I do agree with you actually. I think that there's too much paperwork, there's too much bureaucracy. Doctors complain about the same thing you've just mentioned. I agree with you. But single payer is not going to solve that problem.
It'll eliminate a lot of it.
Really?
You've got a lot of...
It'll get rid of the insurance companies.
For out of every one doctor, there's 3 insurance employees.
Okay. Now that's a private decision. Don't you think we should make it easier to have more insurance companies who compete?
No, I think there ought to be less. Those are parasites that are in between the provider and the patient. They don't do anything for my health care other than collect money.
Okay, but isn't it true? Insurance means that there's a pool of money that's collected and it's dispersed based on people's needs.
Right now, the way that's heading is they're trying to make that pool even smaller. They're saying healthy people don't get an insurance. You know, everybody at some time in their life is going to need health.
I agree with you.
Okay, everybody at some point is going to need it.
I absolutely agree with you.
So by expanding the pool to everybody, it spreads the risk to everybody.
Okay, and whose money is it?
It's everybody.
Okay, so, but it's through taxes, right?
Yes.
Because that's how single payer works. It's based on taxpayer dollars.
But
so it's your money and my money, but instead of me choosing to give it, it's forced out of my pocket because it's a tax.
Well, right now, my employer pays on my behalf $9,000 a year.
Okay.
I would like to collect that $9,000
and do what you want with it,
and actually have it. I would pay all of that into a single payer program because I know it would cover more people.
Okay, so you want to do that? Okay, I respect that, but it's a choice.
Yes, because that one single payer is not in it for profit. Right now we have layers and layers of insurance companies that are in between the provider and the patient that are simply there to make profit.
So I just want to let everybody acknowledge that's something that I'm understanding now. I said understanding, not arguing. A lot of people think that the medical industry, there should be no profit. Or there should be as little profit for people who don't do anything.
It ought to be there to exist to support the system, just like policemen and firemen.
But we pay them, don't we?
Well, did you shut off?
You want to know why? Because I want to focus on you. They can hear me say stuff, so it doesn't matter. But I need to acknowledge, I understand where a lot of people are coming from, this issue of profit. My response to that is, if a doctor couldn't make money, if a nurse couldn't make money, would they do it?
They get salaries.
But they're allowed to, don't you think they should be making the decision how much or how little they make?
No, well, it's market driven.
Exactly. Don't you think healthcare should be the same?
No, because healthcare in between is a parasite in between.
Healthcare, it's not
they
a
are
choice.
In between.
I disagree with you.
My son's gonna die without healthcare.
Okay.
It's not his choice.
You said, when I say, I don't have is that your age or your IQ? Off she goes. Some people are just hostile. If some people don't have health care, it's because if they don't need it right away. So that's my answer to that. But you pointed out the profit issue is important.
You're narrowing the pool by having people off health care.
Health insurance. See, that's where I made a mistake. Health insurance or health care. So I misunderstood. I didn't mean to misunderstand, but I don't flip people off either. My response is this. We want to get rid of these people who are just skimming off. I agree. Let's make it easier for doctors and patients to work with each other. That's why we should have a direct cash system again, just like we buy anything else. They have it in many states. Tennessee does it, for example. Some hospitals will not do the Medicare thing. Why? The reimbursements are too low.
Can you show me a country where that's working?
Let's see. That's a great question. I think like in Estonia, you've got some of the Northern European countries. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I've been over to the Eastern Europe.
You've been to other countries. Tell me.
I've been over in
I'm listening.
Europe, yeah.
Europe has all single payer?
No, there's all various flavors of single payer. They're not all one size fits all.
Okay, so
some of them.
Let me tell you about
on one end of the extreme, you have Britain. Even the nurses, the doctors, and the janitors at a health facility are state employees. Okay, that's on one end of the extreme.
NHS allows. Okay, Great Britain also allows for people to buy insurance too. I know a gentleman who is a British citizen, and he had to buy private health insurance. If the NHS is so great, then why does he have to buy private health care? I tried to explain that to him, and he didn't understand the contradiction, it seemed. NHS also, I have read, let me finish, horror stories. Women having to give birth to children in hallways, there aren't enough beds. They had a dentist from the Netherlands who was providing black market health care because it wasn't within the system. That's a crime? Why? People wait in long lines to get dental care? This is ridiculous. This system is not working. It leads to more rationing, not less.
That's not a single payer system. That's a complete socialized medicine system. There's a difference.
Okay, so what is the difference?
If you don't understand that, then you don't understand healthcare.
Okay, then explain it to me.
Single payer is just like Medicare.
No, it's not.
Yes.
A single payer system is one government payer, correct?
And that's what Medicare is.
And you know what? And how's that doing? Wasteful, fraudulent. Doctors aren't getting properly reimbursed.
Well, I take issue with that.
It's crazy.
I take issue with that. You pull the people that have Medicare, and they're not ready to get rid of it.
Because there's nothing better right now.
Yeah, they like it, actually.
Well, actually, because for them and for many, it's the best they got. People are going to love free money. John Stossel did a focus group with a number of retirees in Florida. There's a large community of them. That's the way it is. They're getting 3 times what they paid in. Does that sound fair to you? What about me? What about your kids?
What about the ones that die before they're 66? They didn't get 3 times enough.
You're right. That's a problem, too. So why don't we have health savings accounts so that I can keep my money?
I'm just saying, you pick out an anecdote.
Hi, Hojadi. Have you changed your mind yet? No single payer.
I never said that.
Okay. He's a friend of mine.
You're quick to point out an anecdotal story about somebody like my father who's 94, who's gotten way more than he paid into it because he lived to be 94.
It isn't anecdotal, that's a fact.
Okay.
It's a statistical fact.
It's also true people die at 66 and 67 and didn't get anything out of it.
You know what? I think that's wrong. I think that you should get your money back.
Spreading the pool.
No, it's not. You didn't get any money. Whoa, feel the love. Hey, buddy, you need to watch my other buddy here.
I tried.
Hojadi, what's up?
No, he wants to talk to me. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
What are your paying for corporate subsidies?
I'm just checking it out.
That's good.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are friends too? How cute. You know each other. That's fine.
Okay, so here's the thing. I never said I supported single payer. I said you can manage the health insurance companies to solve the problem.
Okay.
I never brought that out.
Okay, so you don't support single payer.
And I would support a public option if it doesn't raise taxes.
Which it will.
Well, if we could have one, if we have one, that'd be great. I mean, we have the water company. The water company is fully funded. The water company
spends what?
Right now in California, out of pocket, we currently spend between $350 and $400 billion.
Too much.
Okay.
And now we want. That's Obamacare, dude. Obamacare has driven up the cost. Are you kidding me, guys?
About raising taxes. If we subtract that $350 to $400 billion that we're already paying, and then raise taxes up to that point and cover more people, wouldn't you say that was a better solution?
No, and this is why. The people who get soaked leave the state. They don't, just because you raise taxes doesn't mean you raise revenue. Look at Illinois. They have soaked the rich so much that there ain't any rich left. They moved to Texas, Missouri, they moved to Nevada.
I heard that argument when California raised the sales tax.
And everybody's leaving.
No.
Yes, they are. Are you kidding me? I have friends of mine who are business owners. They are fleeing.
That's another anecdotal thing.
Average 5 businesses a week leaving the state of California. That's no anecdote.
Are you saying the population of California is going down?
Oh, no, I didn't say that.
Okay,
what I am saying is the number of taxpayers is, because you've got illegals, you've got welfare dependents, and you've got the public sector union people.
I just read this article. Actually, the people that are leaving the most out of California are at poverty level because they can't afford it anymore.
Who's what article is this? LA Times?
Yeah.
The same LA Times that is still convinced that Trump and Russia colluded to fix the election.
They did not pick up the statistics. They didn't pick up.
The same LA Times that has a series of editorials hating on the president just because he's a Republican. I don't think so. Sorry.
More people are moving to this state that are 5 times above the poverty level.
Because they can afford it,
right.
Sure.
But the housing price is a good barometer of that. You
know, they're immense. I have so many friends.
So if everybody's leaving and all the businesses are leaving,
they are.
Then why are the housing prices going up?
Because you've got wealthy people who live off of hedge funds or investment funds.
Here?
So I guess they are, but that doesn't balance out a eroded middle class.
The poorer people are actually leaving California, and the richer people are.
How do you define poor? That becomes another issue.
At or below poverty level.
I would have to disagree with that. We've got a lot of illegals coming in. Well, actually, they're now leaving. Thank God for Donald Trump actually securing our borders. Except I still want a wall. I'm not happy until I see a wall. So I'm going to take a lot of it. You've got middle-income people. Even having a 6-figure salary isn't enough to have a house. And the answer is to make healthcare even more expensive. Because one of the biggest lies I hear from people is it's free. It is not free. People pay. Exactly. So, well, I appreciate talking to you about it.
We can pay through taxes, or we can pay through my payroll. At some point,
but it's still taxes.
At some point, my employer says, "Hey, I can't give you a raise because my health premiums went up." Okay,
exactly.
So I'm.
What time is it?
I'm working for. Isn't that kind of like a tax? I'm working for.
I recognize that.
It's over $9,000 a year.
I think we should split that up. I think we should allow people to buy insurance across state lines. Can you imagine, at minimum, 50 health insurance companies?
What's stopping the GOP from doing that?
I'll tell you what it is. You've got people Democrats for starters, especially in the United States Senate, who want to sit on anything that would remove the state from our very private issues.
They have a majority to simply repeal Obamacare. Why don't they do it?
You know, and the other thing, too, is you've got some of these Republicans. Go ahead. So say it again.
Why did not they just, right out of the gate, day one, repeal Obamacare?
I agree with you. I don't like it.
Why?
And why? I think some of them are...
And that's the president that said
they
that.
Need a 60 vote.
You need 60 votes in the U.S. Senate for starters. They could change the rules for that.
Like they did just a second. I'm going to explain what he wants.
Yeah.
They changed the process from needing 60 votes to 50 votes by filibusters. So they changed that law. Now we only need 50. So now they can
51.
move quickly because they only need 50 votes.
Well, that's for the Supreme Court noms.
That was the Supreme Court. Now they only need 50, and it will move forward quickly.
Why didn't they do
Why some of them are backing away also is that they don't see the repeal as far enough. I've complained about the same thing you're talking about. Now the why question I'll answer next, but I want to say this. Repeal Obamacare. They passed a bill in 2016. Why do some of them not want to do it? Because they're worried about the election for some of their members. Yeah, it's political. I don't like that. I don't stand behind every single Republican. I haven't supported everything Donald Trump does, but I'm glad he's there. I think he's doing a great job. It's not perfect.
I remember him saying for the election, I've got a great health care plan.
Okay.
And it's going to cover more people.
Sure.
And it's going to cost less.
Now,
Where's his plan?
Okay, and what's your point?
His plan?
Okay, so you're upset that he doesn't have a plan?
He said he had a plan when he was going to get elected.
But there's this thing called Congress, and there's two chambers in Congress.
Well,
he can't pass something on his own.
He can present a plan, can't he?
He sure could, and I agree with you. Why don't you agitate for that?
How come he hasn't?
Because your plan is single payer. That is not going to work. Hey, RG. Hi, RG. Where's your... You want to fuck yourself? What?
Oh, boy. You know each other, huh?
RG, that's not the way to say hi to somebody. Whatever happened to love trumps hate? And that guy's a perv right there. How you doing? That guy sleeps with kids right there. That guy's a perv right there.
Name one that he
Lots of friends here. Look at this. You guys are desperate. You guys come to Southgate now? Unbelievable.
Cover more.
Unbelievable. This is desperation at its finest. Where's Anthony Rendon? He didn't even bother to show up? What happened to the smoke, lady? Could somebody please tell me why they think single payer is better? Because I haven't heard a good reason at all. Hey, it's a Green Party person. I have more respect for you, believe me. At least you're honest.
Universal health care in other countries.
Unemployment for Rendon. I'm totally agree with that. Fire is. Single payer, not so much.
Love the NHS. These are people who are from all economic backgrounds.
I know, but I'm kind of busy right now. I like that doctor. Oh, that's okay. Well, thanks for being my buddy, but I'll take care of it in a minute.
He said, are you in this fight? I said, yes, he lives here. And he said, that's great. And he said, I can't believe that Americans...
What happened to Jill Stein? She's not running anymore? Retired American, okay.
So, when I heard about SB 562, and that California could possibly be the first state...
Wow, these guys are committed.
...to have universal health care, I was really
I'm not with him. Yes, he is with me. He's my buddy. He said so. He's my buddy. He's my buddy.
Make sure that there's no disruption.
Of course, no disruptions. Of course. Thank you. I need to tie my shoe. Come on over. I'm afraid to bend down because something like... And she was there at the Veterans Hall when veterans were getting spit at and when they were getting tripped. She was right there too. She was part of that Gloria de Loretta. Do you know about that? That was in West Carson last year. She was there. Look at her walk away. Look at her walk away.
The reason why we're here...
These are the same people. It's ridiculous.
put on hold by some
Okay, just stand by. I'm going to sit down.
And even though 70%
This guy's supposed to be my buddy, but he wouldn't tie my shoe for me.
and support for universal health
Of course.
across the country. Now we know that it's going to be a bit complicated, but that's fine.
Why?
And the argument states
Causing trouble? How? I'm the one tying my shoes.
well, it's very complicated.
This guy calls me a troublemaker for asking questions. Why?
Same argument.
You are here to disrupt.
How?
You know how.
Asking questions is disruptive?
That would cause an intelligent conversation. An intelligent conversation is not what they're here for.
That's called causing trouble.
Yeah. The House and the Senate.
What?
Your friend here didn't even know the difference between the House and the Senate.
What was the problem?
Does that make your
He
argument
said
right?
the current
My
health bill
ignorance
is
does not
tied
make
up
your
in the
argument
House.
right.
Yes, it
It
is.
just makes you a dick.
Yeah, okay, we've got the AHCA passed by 217
That's
votes.
the House bill.
Absolutely. It's gone to the Senate and they're tinkering with
No,
it.
it's a different Senate bill. And when and if that passes, that gets reconciled between the two.
And that one is not going to pass. I don't support it.
Apparently, your friend didn't know the difference between the House and the Senate. He says,
why are you mocking him?
I know a lot more things you don't know, though.
Wait, you guys are in this with us? I want to get rid of Rendon, that's for sure. But I don't want single payer. Why do you?
Because right now we pay more for less.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But the answer isn't single payer.
We should pay less. It is, though. The data indicates that.
So there's an Amherst study I've heard of, which I have to
grew
look
up in
at.
Amherst. I'm very familiar with that study.
That's New Hampshire, or is it Massachusetts?
Massachusetts. UMass Amherst.
Why do you have to mock people just because you disagree with them? Yes, you did, because that's not what he said. But anyway, have you seen single payer? Have you looked at the studies in Canada?
Yes, and have you talked to Canadians?
Yes, I have, and they hate it.
That's not a fact. That's false. That's false. They don't hate it. Nobody envies America's Cambodian healthcare system.
What is it? I need to know what time it is because I got to leave at 1.
Cambodian system.
I go up to Canada all the time. I talk to cab
One
drivers.
of the things people have been doing is passing around these signs and these guys around.
If you want our respect, you got to keep it based in fact.
I agree with you.
Based in fact, cite your sources.
So, Louder with Crowder, he actually went underground himself. You can also look, there was a primer I read, I can't think of the title, but it had studies and anecdotes as well. A doctor who was before and after single payer in Canada was testifying how terrible it is. John Stossel, you can look at his documentaries. You can also look at Michael Moore's Sicko, and you will see the massive, gross disparities. He claims that the healthcare is wonderful, but you can look at human refugees. You can go to their video.
My father-in-law was a doctor in Canada. Single payer there. He was adamantly against it. He did not want single payer. He was one of the most vocal opponents of it. After it passed, he changed his tune. He actually, it started in one province. It didn't start across the whole country.
Okay.
It started in one province.
Okay.
And it spread because it worked.
Come on, we need to make sure that our
Well, here's the problem. I think the reason why it's limping along is because there's a large black market of healthcare clinics. Yes, they exist. They're illegal, but they're there. Because people, yes, they are. That's the first thing. Second thing is, you've got doctors are leaving. Here's a great book, Star Spangled Canadians, looking at the large exodus of Canadians to the United States, specifically in the healthcare profession. Nurses come here, doctors come here. They get paid more, taxed less, and it's better care. There's more innovation.
Since you guys are here for the same reason we are unhappy with Rendon.
Rendon, I want him to go. That's the reason why.
One other thing that Trumpers agree with us on, right? It's net neutrality. Where are you guys on that?
No, he's opposed to that. So am I, and it's dead.
It's based entirely on what Donald Trump says and not any specific policies.
Who really cares?
Because he does contradict himself.
We're in line with a lot of.
It doesn't matter what.
But what happens when they change? Well, he doesn't have any policies yet. I read the chat.
Okay, let me take off this.